All right. Starting to get used to this. It's a great day today for the University of Nebraska, and really what a compliment when, as an institution, we can bring one of our own home, as we're doing today with Will Bolt. Two-time captain during his playing days, involved in all three of the Huskers College World Series appearances, all four of the Super Regionals. I really emphasize the captain piece because there's no greater honor for an athlete than to be elected captain by your own teammates, and he did it twice. That says a lot right there. But then went on and built a resume at a championship caliber program at Texas A&M, was a head coach. I love this. When I sat and talked with Will, I said, I like the fact that you were at a small place where you have to share a secretary, you have to make the coffee, you have to ride the bus. And he said, heck, Bill, I drove the bus. And I like that in the coaches that I'm able to hire. We got the full package here, a scrapper, a winner, a beautiful family, and he's back with us now, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Let's welcome the 24th head baseball coach at the University of Nebraska, Will Bolt. I figure you know how to put one of these on.
See if I can remember.
Right number, huh?
That's right.
That's a popular number at Nebraska. This is for you too. And welcome.
Thank you.
All right, you bet. Take it over.
Wow, this is it's a little surreal for me, I'll be honest. The first thing I'd like to do, really before doing anything else, before I really get in anything else, I want to make sure, take a moment to thank and honor Darren Erstad for all the time and effort, the heart and soul that he poured into Nebraska baseball for the last 8 years. So just wanted to take a moment to do that. Him making the decision to go and be with his family. It's one I'm not surprised about, just knowing Darren and being around him. But just wanted to make sure I thank him. He's the greatest Husker I know. He's been everything to Nebraska baseball and really the entire athletic department. So just wanted to say thank you, Darren, for everything you've done and everything you're going to continue to do in the background. I'd also like to thank Bill Moos, John Gentz, Bob Burton, Chancellor Green, President Bounds, really everybody associated with the athletic department for making this day possible. Of course, the former players that I've coached through the years, guys that I've felt like I've had a chance to help mold into young men, they've helped mold me. Guys that I've coached, I've played with. I see some familiar faces in the back today. It's been a long time, but. And of course, my family here, Lauren, Jackson, and Austin, and little Bella there. She's cooing over there with her. But just the roller coaster ride that baseball and being a coach's wife can kind of provide, and the rock that she's been for me throughout my entire life, my entire career, and my boys. They're excited to be here too. So my parents, Bill and Debbie, they've always been a great support for me, and really kind of just pushing me out of my comfort zone when I was 18 years old to come to the University of Nebraska from Texas, and kind of helped start me on my journey. So it's the honor of a lifetime for me to be here, standing in front of everyone here, and for my family and me to return to Lincoln, to have a chance to be the head coach here. It's truly something that I can hardly describe. It's something that dreams are made of. But for as much as the university has given me, the athletic department has given me, the experiences, the friendships that I've made, just to have the opportunity to feel like I can give back and serve in this capacity as head coach is something that is truly special. So as I started kind of thinking about the last 7 days, I guess it's been 7 days, maybe it's been a full year, I can't even remember. It's been a blur since our season ended, but kind of reflecting back on all of my journeys as a Husker, and it's really kind of a unique situation in that I've had the opportunity to literally sit in every chair that you could sit in with Nebraska baseball. And I think back to it, I was a scrawny kid coming out of Texas. Dave Van Horn and Rob Childers took a chance on me to come up here and play and have a chance to play in 2 College World Series and actually have a locker as a senior for the first year of Hawks Field at Haymarket Park, to have that seat and to be a player in this program. And then when I was finished playing, had the opportunity to be a student assistant, help the program out in any way possible. Mostly my number one thing that I did every day is I sat next to Renee Brinkman, who's really the boss of Nebraska baseball, as most of you know. My duty really was to bug her every day. I sat next to her, I stuffed envelopes, I cut some things out for her, mailed some things out. Like I said, just basically bugged Renee for an entire year. And then the next year, having a chance to be a graduate manager, which was kind of a new position. And some of those tasks and duties that I really remember was going and stocking the coach's locker room with shampoo and soap, doing some laundry for the team, and organizing equipment. So that was kind of the duties of that first year as graduate manager. And then the next year as a volunteer assistant coach, where I had the chance to learn and be around Mike Anderson, Rob Childers, and Andy Sawyers. And then as associate head coach with Darren, coming back here in 2011 when he was named head coach, ushering Nebraska into the Big Ten, kind of a new era of Nebraska baseball, and allowing us to just see some new things and new experiences, and having a chance to get to a regional in 2014 was big. First time in 5 years for the program. So. And now to today, just having a chance to be the head coach is, I can look back on all those experiences as a player, as a manager, as a coach, and truly say that this is the highlight of it all, is to be the head coach of Nebraska baseball. And I just look forward to carrying on the momentum that Coach Erstad has helped provide for this program, and strive every day to just do the little things, just to do whatever it takes to help us become the team that has a chance to play in Omaha year in and year out and be the last team standing. So I can't wait to get started. I'm very thankful for the opportunity. I have my 2 assistant coaches here with me today as well, Lance Harvell and Jeff Christie. Some of you guys may recognize Jeff Christie's name, but I'm excited to get going. I'm fired up, and I'm almost as excited as Bella is over here. She can hardly contain herself. So. Excited to get going and ready to open it up for questions. Yep.
Evan Bland from
Okay.
Well, could you describe how maybe you evolved as a coach since you were here at Nebraska last?
I've seen a lot, just being, having a chance to go coach in the SEC every day, kind of seeing what that's all about, the players, the guys that you're going up against are major leaguers or guys that are big league ready. I learned a lot. It's a different, it was a different league. It was different experiences, just playing in different venues. And it was 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot. I've learned what I'd do all over again, some things I probably would do differently. But I would say just more than anything, just having 5 more years of being a coach at the highest level kind of helped prepare me for this day to be a head coach.
Well, those 3 years that you were here in the Big Ten, how big is that in the grand scheme of it, knowing kind of the differences of Big 12 to Big Ten, and being able to see that for 3 years as you come back into Nebraska?
Yeah, really just kind of being familiar with some of the venues, being at some of the different parks and those type of things, knowing some of the rules of the conference as far as travel days and those kind of things. But just anytime you've had a chance to be around for a few years, you're going to learn a few things. And so just having that chance to be in the Big Ten before, certainly some things I'll draw on.
Well,
Yep.
Ross Turnston, welcome back.
Thank you.
WWT 6, Channel 6 in Omaha. You made the final out to send Nebraska to its first College World Series. Take us back to that moment, and what does it take to take a team from Nebraska to the series?
Back to that moment, I think we had a 3-run lead. We had 2 runners on, and there was a pop-up in shallow center field. And honestly, I can say there was no other thought that crossed my mind other than I cannot wait to dogpile when this ball comes down. So that was kind of what I was thinking right there. And just, to have that opportunity and be in that spot, it was obviously a huge moment for Nebraska baseball. And I guess just being around a bunch of winners every day, from the coaching staff to the players and those type of things. Those are things that you draw every day from this game, is the people that you're around. And we have a lot of really good things in place here right now to be able to take this program to the next, I guess, make the next step and carry that momentum that Darren helped create. Yep.
Hey, Matt Logan with KE2 Channel 7 in Omaha. What is your brand or style of baseball that you would like to play here?
Winning. Whatever that's got to look like. Honestly, just whatever it takes. Just a bunch of guys that are fighters. They're gonna scrap. You got to have talent too. If you have talent and you have guys that play that way, you do win a lot of games. So I'd say just a bunch of guys that are tough, hard-nosed. They're going to play the game where the fans can watch the game and say, those guys get after it. I'd say if you had to say anything, that's what I'd like to have happen.
Will Michael Bronze,
Yep.
24/7. Talk about your staff a little bit. I mean, what made you want to bring those guys along? You had things play pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
obviously, you talked about it.
I've been thinking about this for a while. Just have an opportunity to be a head coach, I guess. The people you coach with, you work with, you kind of get a feel for their personalities and what makes them go. And with Jeff, we've been together 5 years, 2 different places, but 5 years. And him making the move to go to Central Oklahoma from Nebraska, I think really kind of propelled his career just as far as getting that experience, just going out, getting out of the comfort zone, getting that experience. And I guess kind of talking him into coming to Texas A&M and being a volunteer coach again. I said, hey, you come here, you're going to have a chance to get a better job. So Jeff he's a intelligent guy. He is very organized, and I think he is just, his experiences as a catcher over all these years, he's kind of seen the game from a different set of eyes when it comes to pitching. So, and he's a great pitch caller too. So, and then Lance has been with me. Lance was with me for 2 years at Texarkana Junior College. Our paths crossed when I first started coaching. My first volunteer year at A&M, he was still a player. So he's had a lot of good experiences as well with Louisiana Lafayette, teams that were really close to going to Omaha. He's been a recruiting coordinator. We're all very good friends, but I didn't choose these guys because we're friends. I chose them because they're great coaches. So, but we're going to have that camaraderie and that kind of that family type atmosphere too that I think is very important.
Hey, Will, Andrew Moore, GLA. Have you had a chance to talk to Darren at all, or what did you learn from him when you were time here?
Yeah, I've talked to Darren. Yep, I've talked to him a few times. Kind of when the process first started, and then when I accepted the job, he was one of the first ones that I called. He's very supportive. I've learned a ton of baseball from him in my short time here in the 3 years I was with him. Like I said, he's the greatest Husker I know. There's nobody that loves Nebraska more than him. He's a brilliant baseball man, and obviously we all know he's a great family man. So I'm going to continue to lean on him. I know he's going to kind of be in the background a little bit. He doesn't want to be, front and center anymore, which I totally understand. But he's going to be there for me to lean on, or at least he better be, because I'm going to bug him a little bit. So no, he's great, and we've been in definite constant communication.
Coach Adam Kruger from Channel 3 in Omaha. What's the greatest things you learned from Dave Van Horn and Rob Childress?
How to compete. I feel like I had a pretty good idea of that as a player. I kind of had to do that because I was an undersized guy and I had to do it to survive. But just there's a difference between competing and staying focused and being able to kind of keep your emotions in touch. And Dave was the ultimate competitor. He was the ultimate in the details and taking care of the small things and really just playing the game the right way. And Rob is the ultimate mentor. He's the guy that was always there to put his arm around you, listen to what was going on off the field, some things that he needed to do, maybe not even as a coach, just kind of as a friend. And I think just having that balance and a lot of things that I've learned as a coach come from those two guys.
Will, what is your message to the high school coaches and players in the state of Nebraska to make them come to Nebraska?
Well, this is a great place to play baseball. I mean, we're talking about the University of Nebraska, the Huskers. We want every kid to think it's cool to be at Nebraska, and I think they do. I think it's just a matter of making sure that we identify the right guys, we get in on them early enough. But we're going to make it a priority. I mean, there's enough good players in this state. I mean, you can go back and look at the rosters of every great team that Nebraska's ever had. It's a really good combination of in-state players, maybe some junior college hitters mixed in, and really development of the pitchers in this state. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of really good players in this state. So we want to keep them. We can't necessarily keep every single guy because of roster needs and everything else, but we're definitely going to make it a priority to keep these Nebraska kids in state, and we're going to start there.
Hey, Coach, back here.
Yep.
Tim Kalen and Lincoln. In your honest assessment of the program, just how ready do you think this team, as it currently stands, is ready to go compete for Big Ten championships and beyond?
Well, all you have to do is look at where they were last year. Very close to winning a regular season title, a Big Ten tournament title. Basically one pitch away from being 2-0 in a regional, from a team that really didn't kind of catch their stride till late in the season. So maybe just finding some consistency early in the year allows you to win one or two more games, which maybe allows you to host a regional. So it's that paper thin, and that line is always that thin, I think, with every team and every year, where you're awfully close to being a team that can host a regional or awfully close to being a team that may not even get to the postseason. So I think it's what you do in the days in between that allow you to be the team that's going to have a chance to play the longest.
Coach Chris Best, I think Journal Star. What's kind of been the first order of business this week as you get settled in and get started?
Just, I guess, meeting the players, visiting with the support staff, getting our staff here, kind of getting the paperwork filled out, all that good stuff. Recruiting. It started immediately, just getting on the phones and visiting with high school coaches and that type of thing. And these guys, I've hardly seen them, even though we've been in the same office. We've been running around doing different things, but they've hit the ground running when it comes to those things with recruiting. It's been fast and furious. It's been I've really done my best to try to slow down and enjoy it because this is, like I said, this is the honor of a lifetime to be standing here. Yep.
Coach Matt Reynolds, some of the Channel 8 in Lincoln. You got glowing recommendations from both Dave Van Horn, Rob Childress, and some other people with big names in college baseball. What does that mean to you, especially coming into your first head coaching job?
What it means is I feel like if you just show up and work hard, that anything's possible. And I feel like that's just kind of the path that I've taken as a player, as a coach. I've never really been one to care about anything else other than just being the best I can that day. And so I'd like to think that that's probably what has allowed them to feel like they can, put their name behind it and say that they feel like I'd be a good fit and be a good coach. And I think if you make it more than that, if you make it about the next job, if you make it about the next place you're going to go, looking too far in the future, you just totally lose sight of what's right there in front of you. And I feel like I've always had a pretty good sense of just doing that, and I've had pretty good being grounded here with Lauren, and she's kept me in my place a few times when I needed it, so that helps too. But yeah, just the day to day, just showing up and being the same every day.
Well, can you just maybe walk us through the process for you when Nebraska reached out, how difficult or easy that decision was?
It was a frantic 48 hours, I guess, after our season ended. Basically, our season ended. I got home from Morgantown, West Virginia, walked through the door, hugged Lauren, hugged the boys, sat down on the couch. I had my phone in the other room, and took a deep breath, like, okay, like season's over. We're in recruit mode now. And then my phone started blowing up. It's like, hey, Darren resigned, this is going on. What do you think? And so it's just kind of been a whirlwind from there. And then obviously things moved pretty quickly from there. I had interest right away. This was a no-brainer for me, just as far as the job, the opportunity, everything that Nebraska baseball means to me. And so that moved very quickly. I had a chance to meet with Bill, and the rest is history. So.
Well, have you been able to meet with many of the current players? I know a lot of them are playing some ball and things like
Yeah, we probably have 8 to 10 guys that are here that we've kind of visited with individually. Yesterday, we kind of addressed them as a team, just a couple of things, and introduced our staff to them as well. So, like probably 8 to 10 guys in town, and reached out to others on the phone, text. We got group messages going, and kind of just already got the ball rolling that way. So, yep.
Don't you guys have a knack at A&M for stealing Lincoln kids or Omaha kids that went the JUCO route? I guess, how do you sell Nebraska to those kids who maybe want to play in Texas or play in the SEC?
I think every kid wants to play at Nebraska, actually. That's the way I look at it, is that they want to be here. We just got to make sure that we kind of foster those relationships early, whether it's a kid that we don't feel like could fit our roster at that particular time. Talking to the junior college coaches, kind of making that a priority that, like, look, these guys are coming down from the state. We want to make sure we get first dibs at getting these guys back, and really just kind of keeping that line of communication open with the kids when they go down there. So we got a lot to offer. I mean, we've got the great facilities. We got unbelievable fan base. We've got everything in place that we need to win. We just, like I said, we just need to make sure that we foster those relationships early and keep the kids in state.